talking about online tickets first. A couple of different ways to handle online tickets. If everything's general admission for you guys or your track, we have a GA-based online ticket platform for all general admission. We've been doing that for a long time. We also have opened up in the last year and a half or so a new reserved seating platform where you can buy specific spots, whether that be grandstand general admission or grandstand reserved seating, I should say, whether that be pit stalls, whether that be camping spots. A lot of different uses for the online ticketing system when you get into the reserved seating. But I want to start with just the general admission stuff. And we'll talk about reserved seating later on. There's two ways to add general admission tickets. The first way that I'll show you is through season management. So you remember a couple of nights ago, we went through season management to set up events. So you can go to your schedule of events. And when you go to edit an event, so I think I've got one on here for like the 16th. So we'll put in tickets for the 16th. When you go to edit an event, there's an add tickets option here. So you can click to add tickets. You can either copy tickets from a previous date or start from scratch. So we'll next our way through that. And then this stuff is all pretty self-explanatory stuff. We'll talk about each of it. Name will always default to event name, but you can change that to whatever name you want it to be. Set your availabilities. When do they go on sale? When do they when do they stop selling? There is a pre-sale option as well. So if you want to have them opened up at a cheaper cost, early in the process, you absolutely can. So if there is a pre-sale option, you can set pre-sale until whatever date you pick. There are options here for if the event is canceled. What do you want to happen to the tickets? First, rain check for a different night that you choose. So when you come in here and tell the program that an event was canceled or rained out, the program will then ask you what event you want those tickets to apply to, or a full refund. And when we can talk about that as well. Refund, we handle all the refunds here at My Race Pass, so you don't have to worry about the refunds. And when we talk about claiming ticket money in a minute, I'll kind of show you what that refund process looks like. There is an option to apply a reserved seating map that we had created previously. I would caution you on doing that. We're still kind of in the early stages of trying to figure out what we want that interface to look like, what we want those maps to be, whatever else. So if we're at the point of using a reserved ticketing map, largely we're going to be in communication pretty consistently regarding, your events, which events are going to use the map, things of that nature, and we'll probably end up doing that. That's basically it. And then the other checkboxes basically just come down to reserved seating map questions. So then we come to the bottom of the screen, kind of below the fold here. And now we're talking about, and again, when we're talking about general admission tickets here, what ticket types you want to sell and how many of them you have. So an adult GA option, you can change the name of your tickets, but we got adult general admission. You can set the number of available, a price, and if you have a pre-sale option, the pre-sale price. If you put a -1 in this field, it won't run out. It'll just sell those without any kind of cap on them. But I'll say we're going to have 50 general admission tickets. We'll sell them for $20 a piece. We're going to have 50 kids tickets. We'll sell those for $20 a piece. All right, you know what? Kids are cheaper probably. We'll sell those for $10 a piece. And then you can have, there's a number of other ticket options as well. There's actually a long list of ticket options. And because you can change the name, you can do whatever you want with them. So if I really wanted to, I could have, a free sponsor ticket or a VIP ticket or whatever else. I can do 10 of those. And then you can actually have a $0 ticket, a ticket that doesn't cost anything. And then, the fees don't get applied for those tickets either. So I'll go ahead and add all those tickets. And now I've got tickets added to my event. My tickets here, I didn't set to go on sale until tomorrow. So when we go through the buying ticket process, I'll have to show you a different one. But once you've got tickets added, you can click view tickets to take you to the screen where tickets are going to be purchased. You can, and again, I didn't have these go on sale until tomorrow, or basically at midnight, so I can't buy them right now. There's a share button as well, so you can share a link to your tickets to social media, make it easier for fans to be able to find those tickets. And then if you click the edit button, you can go in and edit all of the fields that we just talked about in the ticket management screen. Speaking of the ticket management screen, I said that there were two different ways to add tickets. Well, the ticket management screen is the second way to add tickets. Like you see, I have a lot of tickets in here already. A lot of them say action required. I'll explain that in just a moment here. But adding tickets from this view is really a similar process, but the interface changes just a little bit. So I'll hit add tickets up here in the upper left. And, because I'm not already looking at event, I have to select the event that I want to do. I'll just choose this event on the 13th. And I can add tickets that way. And then, this form, very similar. Ticket name, availabilities, pre-sale options. You can put a gates open or race to start option here. And then again, in the event that this is canceled, what do you want to happen to those? Rain check or refund. Same types of questions here. Set your availabilities, set your types that you're going to have. I'll put in, we'll just basically sell 1 million of those if we need to at $20 a piece, and I'll add tickets. So the process is very similar regardless of where you go. I think in season management, finding that individual event and adding tickets that way, the interface is a little cleaner, but regardless of where you go, the process is similar, and you're going to achieve the same goal. So then the question becomes, okay, what does this look like when a fan wants to buy general admission tickets? Well, I pulled up an event at a racetrack that we have general admission tickets for, and you can kind of see what this process is like. For a fan, you can see that they have a lot of ticket types at this track, but I can add an adult GA. I can add whatever I want to add for kids or military, or they have a lot of different options here. And then at that point, the fan presses add to cart. The fan can also see related tickets, so basically different events on your calendar, different event details. So in terms of what classes are running, all of those times, all of that stuff that you set in season management. But I'll add to cart. My shopping cart has expired options from stuff that I added previously, but at that point, I remove expired items. A customer can review what's in their cart and can go to checkout. Now you can see that the tickets are there's a fee applied to each one of them on a per ticket basis. We charge $1.90 fee for tickets that comes to us. So if you put your tickets on there for $15, you'll get all $15 of every ticket sold. We're not going to take any of that money out of your pocket, but we'll pass that $1.90 charge along to the customer on a per ticket basis. And then when they have all of the tickets added to their cart, there will be a 3 to 4%, I believe it's closer to a 4% service fee on there as well, on the total. And that will go to pay off the credit card processor, MasterCard, Visa, all that stuff. They charge to run the card. And so that's where we get that information. And then you check out. So what basically amounted to, 16 plus 13 plus another 6, that amount for tickets. There was a couple dollars of fees added on. So they end up spending 39 total. So that fee structure, yeah, I understand fees can be frustrating or annoying. But when we talk about the grand scheme of buying tickets online, it's really a minuscule number compared to most outlets for ticket vendors buying online tickets. If you've ever gone to a concert and bought tickets off Ticketmaster, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You're talking about spending upwards of $30 to $40 in fees as opposed to $3 or $4 in fees this way. Once your event has happened, once it's completed, we'll jump then back into ticket management, and I can click on one of the events. Let me sort this differently here. I can click on one of the events that I've sold tickets for. That's what action required means. Action required means that the event is come and passed, and you have to do something with these tickets. Now, at this point, I can click on the ticket date, and there is a get funds or full refunds option here. So I click this button. It will send a text to whatever phone number you give us to send the text to. And I'm going to send this text to 5949. So, my boss is going to say, why is a ticket text coming to me? But, this is why. It'll send them a code to that text. You put the code in here, and then you can either enter complete or you can enter refund. If you enter complete, we will ACH the money to your bank account. You'll get it in, 1 to 2, maybe 3 days, depending on what your bank does. We'll send that directly to your bank account. If you type refund in here, we will refund all of that money to your ticket buyers. So your fans will get refunded in bulk. Now, if you do need to do an individual refund for an event that hasn't happened yet, there is an interface which you can do an individual refund in, and I'll show you that. But this is where you can refund everybody at once if your event gets rained out or canceled for whatever reason. And then you update the status, and that's good to go. Well, what if the event that I added tickets for rained out, but I wanted to push the tickets to a different date? I wanted to rain check them. Well, you can actually do that from the season management screen. So when I go to events in season management, and I have to find an event that I've added tickets for. There we go. March 16th. Perfect. So I've added tickets to that event, but the event's going to be canceled. What I can do here is I can view tickets. And excuse me, I clicked the wrong button there. What I can do is I can, when this event is marked as rained out or postponed or whatever else, at that point I can confirm now my event is rained out. What do I want to happen to these tickets? Well, there's a migrate tickets option that appears. And with this button, I can migrate these tickets to any other event that I choose. So I will choose 317. And do we want to unredeem any tickets that had been redeemed? If it rained out during the event or after you had already redeemed tickets, unredeem those. Send the same verification code. Send the code, type in the verification, and then press migrate. So regardless of what you want to do, whether you want to push the tickets to another race night or you want to claim that money, you can do either of those things at that point. Some other options here when we go to ticket management. Okay, what if I want to see information about my ticket buyers on an event-by-event basis? So at that point, I'll go to an event where you've sold tickets, and there is a sold tickets view up at the top of the screen. So if I click sold tickets, it'll actually bring me to a list of my ticket purchasers. And then at this point, you can see, okay, I've got some ticket purchasers through the point of sale system, and I'll show you the point of sale system later. But at this point, you can check the box here, and you can issue a refund on an individual ticket. So if you do need an individual refund, you can. You can also print a couple of reports. One of them is called a tickets report, where you'll actually be able to see how much money you've made in total on the tickets, all of your ticket buyers, the type of tickets that they bought, all of those types of things. They'll all be available. You can also, in this view, print a report for a customer information report, where you're going to start to be able to gather email addresses. So that is super valuable because then you can then export that and import that into MailChimp or whatever other email platform that you've got. And now you can start marketing your events of a similar kind to your ticket purchasers. So you have a big monster truck show. You can get the tickets report, the customers report for that monster truck show. You know, those people largely aren't the same people that come to your regular race night. But next year, when you have a monster truck show the same way, now I can market to those ticket purchasers that were interested in the monster trucks last year. Same works for a big sprint car race, a big late model race, whatever. I know at New River, you guys just had that big race last weekend with the late model deal. So next time you have a big late model race, you can market your ticket purchasers the next late model show that you've got. So that kind of stuff can be super valuable. There is also one other report. It's called the box office report. And this will show you purely tickets sold out of the point of sale system, which again, I'll show you when we get that far. So a couple of things that you can do there. There's also an analytics page, which I want to show you. And I'm going to go way back in time here because I don't know when we bought our test tickets. But the analytics page is going to start to show some really, really unique information for a lot of these events. You can filter it by whatever date range you want. You can filter it by, just last weekend or last month or whatever. But you'll start to see some unique information. First, there's a heat map to kind of show you where your ticket buyers are. Interestingly, because this heat map is for a demo racetrack, you're just seeing the heat map of where we work. But you'll be able to see the top cities, the municipalities that you're purchasing tickets out of. To me, this screams, where should I market in terms of radio ads, in terms of newspaper ads, in terms of billboards, or whatever other marketing options you've got. Even like you can target things on Facebook geographically as well when you do your Facebook advertising if you pay them. This just gives you a good idea of where your customers are at. Distance traveled. Do your customers close by buy more tickets or further away? Purchase dates. And this, you can get creative using this information. How far in advance do your customers buy online tickets? To me, that starts to tell me, when should I start releasing tickets for a big event? If I'm releasing tickets 8 months in advance and nobody's buying them until 2 months in advance, maybe I should wait and create more, demand for those tickets by releasing them at the right time. Something, or the reverse could work as well. Average price paid, the types of tickets purchased in advance. Are your ticket buyers mostly GA people, or are they mostly VIP people? You want to know that information. Gender and age demographics in here. And then you can also get the same information on an event-specific basis. So you can see what events people are purchasing tickets for. And then you can get the same heat map information, the same analytics page information on an event-specific basis. You can also find your ticket holders here. Another way to get to the same report I showed you earlier. But if I choose event analytics, now I'm getting all of the same heat map information for that individual event. Now we have a demo profile, so I just bought one test ticket, so there's nothing in here. But that's kind of how that would work. So that analytics page, I say, is not oft used, but it should be. I mean, there's just so much great information in that analytics page that you can look at. So as far as general admission tickets, I've showed you adding tickets. I've showed you capturing the funds or doing refunds or postponing. And I've showed you some of the analytics data and information. One other thing that I want to show you here is what happens when you have a website through us. When you have a website through us, and this is just a demo racetrack, on your schedule page, every event that you've added tickets for, now instead of event details, you can view the ticket information. So I've got a 3-day weekend in December that I'm going to use for a lot of the demo that we'll see tonight. So I can actually click tickets, and it'll bring me to the tickets page for that event. So that, if you got a website through us, being able to put tickets online means that your fans can get to the tickets easily and quickly. You'll also see on the header of most of our websites, of this website for sure, there's a buy tickets option there. Everybody can always quickly get to your tickets page to buy tickets if you've got a website through us, which this is linked up to a different one, but yeah, the same general idea works. So that's general admission tickets. A lot of information there, a lot of good things there. I suppose there is a couple of other things I should show you. One, ticket window. If you want to redeem your tickets through My Race Pass, you can use the ticket window to do that. Basically, you've got a USB scanner or a Bluetooth scanner connected to this machine. You can click in this field, scan the voucher, and they show up over here. A ticket voucher can't be scanned for the same night more than once. Ticket voucher can't be scanned on the wrong night. So there's those security features built in. You'll only be able to scan each voucher once. But you can do it that way. You can also redeem tickets by just clicking on the person's name. So I can bring over valid ticket redeemed, redeem ticket voucher, good. So if you really don't have a scanner, but you still want to redeem tickets, you can sit in this view and you can just scan tickets in like that. And then there is a redeem tickets view that you can go to see who redeemed. There's also that sold tickets view, same report. That you can utilize if you want to have it just as a will call window. What we see a lot of times is folks will just print off their list of customers for that event, bring it to the window, and if they don't want to scan to redeem, they'll just take a Sharpie and cross the folks' name off on that window as well. The other thing that I can show you here out of the redeem window is there's a share button. So if you want to share, again, the link to social media, Facebook or Twitter there. Should also probably tell you about the way the fans receive their ticket voucher when they purchase. It gets delivered to them 2 different ways. One, we send the voucher via email. They have to be signed into a My Race Pass account to buy their tickets. They can buy the tickets in the app. They can buy the tickets online, on your website, on our website. There's a lot of places to buy the tickets. But at that point, we email them the ticket vouchers to their email address. So they can either A, print them off and bring them to the gate to be scanned. They can show you their email on their device and be scanned. But they're also delivered. The second way they're delivered is in the app for that person. So that person goes to the My Race Pass app, and you can actually see the ticket vouchers that you purchased and scan from the app as well. So pretty handy stuff there. So from there, we should talk about our advanced ticketing features, which basically that boils down to a reserved seating map. There's a lot of examples out there for a reserved seating map, and I want to show you a couple of them. First off, the ticket buying experience on a reserved seating map. So I'm going to go buy ticket. Actually, I've got the link over here. I can buy tickets to your favorite track. If I'm going to buy these tickets on December 30, like we talked about, tickets. This is a very brand new feature that I'll quickly tell you about here before we get to buying an individual ticket. We can group multi-day events into what we call a ticket package, quote unquote. So you can see here with this 3-day event, I can either buy tickets to this individual race night, like I had clicked on, or I can buy a ticket package to all 3 events. So I'll go through the demo with that. So I get package. So I'm going to buy 3-day ticket package. Get tickets. This is what a fan sees when they're going to buy tickets. This is just a demo racetrack that we've got that's up and available. So I can choose section A. I can choose these 2 seats. I've got my adult reserve tickets right here. If I wanted to, I can make one. I'll make one of them a kid's ticket. I've got an adult ticket and a kid's ticket there. Next. And so now my cart is going to tell me 3-day ticket package, 3-day ticket package, which events are a part of my 3-day ticket package, adds up my $1.90 fee per ticket and my $5 processing fee in this case, so I can check out there. So you can see the ticket buying process, though, very simple for even for a single day. So I single day tickets. I will choose, these tickets, $25 a piece, and next my way through that. It's a very simple process. Let me take the ticket packages out of my cart here. But a very simple process to be able to buy tickets via my race pass for your customers. They can also purchase in the app. Tickets are delivered to them the same way. All of that kind of stuff exists. So you have a reserved seating map. What do you do when folks come to the back gate? How do you know what seats are sold, what haven't sold, assigning seats out to people? Well, we've developed a point of sale system, and we've applied those maps to the point of sale system. And I want to show you some of those options. First, if you click current event, all that'll do is bring you to the next chronological event on your schedule, 313. All I added was the general admission tickets. General admission view is exactly the same. If you go to all tickets, now you can start telling the program which tickets you want to sell or redeem. So I'll open up July 3rd. And now I can start. This is a different map that we have applied. This is actually a better map because now you can start to see, okay, we can sell camp spots. We can sell pit stalls. We can sell general seats, and we can sell premium section as well. So there's a lot of different options here. But somebody shows up, says, hey, I want to buy tickets for July 3rd. We'll pretend today is July 3rd. Your ticket taker at the booth is selling tickets for July 3rd. I want to sit in the premium section. Okay, these are the seats that are available. Great. I want these 3 seats or these 4 seats up top. These are all VIP seats, VIP section seats, whatever else. So those are the seats that you want. Great. Next. That brings me to an option where now I've got my cart. If I want to take one away, remove one, whatever, you can do that. You have the option to gather their email address. If you want them to receive the voucher via email, awesome. And if you want to start gathering that email address data for future marketing use, you have the option to gather email address. You have the option to gather zip code for the same reason, to start being able to monitor that moving forward. You do have to put in a payment type. So if you don't select payment type, cash, credit, check, however they paid, we'll say they paid in cash, and we'll complete the order. When you complete the order, it'll automatically bring up a print preview screen. We have a special printer that we recommend folks to buy. We have special printer paper that we recommend folks to buy. Print their ticket off. I can hit the print button. It prints the ticket, rip it off, hand it to them. Now they can bring it to the redeem gate. And again, when I go to all tickets, you could theoretically sell tickets to any event that you have coming up on your schedule if you wanted to. I get the lines can get long. That might not always be the best way to do it, but some folks choose to do it that way. There is always going to be folks who come up to the window and say, oh, I bought tickets online, but I can't find the voucher, or I already paid, or blah, 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 or whatever. What do you do with those folks? Because they're going to hold up the line for everybody else. I always recommend to have some kind of, I call it the problem child tent. Got some table set up or different window or whatever, where, hey, if this is going to be an issue and I got to search for it, you go over there. When they go over there, there's a past orders view here. Past orders view will allow me to do a couple of things. First, search for the ticket buyer. So they show up and they say, hey, this is my name, whatever. I'll search Almas, if I spell it correctly, because I know he's bought tickets from us. search. And now I can see the order for the people that came up, and I'll be able to view their tickets. So I can view tickets. I can print their voucher. I can verify what ticket date they bought. So somebody shows up and says, hey, I'm supposed to have tickets for tonight. You bring up their vouchers, and it says, yeah, the tickets you bought were for next week. So if you want to buy tickets today, you got to buy some at the gate. You have that ability to be able to tell people that, print their tickets off. You can send them their invoice, all that kind of stuff. So easy stuff there. But that past orders view, really nice for folks who show up at the window and say, I've had some kind of problem. It'll also differentiate for you if they bought their tickets out of this point of sale system, or if they did not. If they did not, it'll just be blank. There is a shopping cart option. If you've added tickets for somebody and gotten out of that view, when you come back to it, the cart will still be there, quote unquote. And then there's a redeem view as well. This redeem view, really nice. I actually prefer to use this over the one that we have built into the front end of the program. So if you click redeem for the event that you're on, we'll say today is the March 13th date. I'm going to redeem tickets to that date. You can have a USB barcode scanner plugged into the machine. You can have a Bluetooth barcode scanner, Bluetooth to the machine, and you can scan tickets from this view. Scanning, super simple. Scan, shows up red if it's an invalid ticket, shows up green if it's a good ticket. They can go through. Literally, it takes a second. I mean, it's really, really, really nice. And that is our point of sale system. Before we really move forward to website stuff, I want to remind you the first night, if you weren't on, I don't think either of you are on the first night, we had the users view where we could start adding permissions for folks. Box office users are folks who have access to that point of sale system. Ticket redemption users are folks who have access to a ticket scanner in the My Race Pass app. My Race Pass app has a ticket scanner built in that you can either just use the scanner in the app using the phone camera or Bluetooth it to a 3D scanner. And that's actually my favorite way to use the ticket scanner. Is I actually have it right next to me on my desk. I have a little Bluetooth scanner that I Bluetooth to my phone, and my phone, I just use that to scan tickets, and it's just hooked to the phone the whole time. Does the same thing, and pretty slick, pretty easy that way. Yeah, that's a lot of our ticket features. There's one other ticket feature I'll tell you about that doesn't have an interface for it yet, but it does exist, and we're kind of in beta testing mode with it. Is we've got a single event promo code. So if you're selling your tickets for $20 a piece, but if they buy 4, they get the 5th at half price. We can put a promo code in there like that, and the shopping cart will automatically recognize, okay, you've got 4 of these ticket types in there. The 5th of that ticket type will be at this reduced price or whatever else. So you can start putting promo codes in there as well. One other thing that I'll tell you is the pass list tab. The pass list, you can assign this pass list to one event, to multiple events, whatever you'd like to do, and you can use it for either a season ticket or a comped ticket. So I can click in the pass list, and I can add section, row, and seat number, or if you did camping spots, the camping section, the camping spot, whatever else. Same thing for pit passes. And now I can start applying those spots to either one event or multiple events. This works great if you need to comp tickets to somebody. You can put them in here, use it as a comp list. If you have somebody who bought a season pass and you want to attach this list to a number of events, use it as a season pass list, those types of things. So pretty handy that way. And that's really what I have to show regarding online tickets. There's a lot of features that have come into this quickly. There's more that we have planned as we move forward. But we've developed this. It's fairly robust. And we think it captures a lot of what's needed or whatever else. Ross, Dakota, is there anything regarding online tickets that I failed to mention or missed?
Oh boy, there is a lot there.
There's a lot there, yeah.
I don't know if you missed anything per se. I guess I would just add a couple quick things that, if you're on the fence about doing any sort of online ticketing, it doesn't hurt to try. There's no reason not to sell the ticket ahead of time. The sooner you can sell the ticket, the more likely they're going to be to show up and not change their mind the day of the race. So, yeah, if you haven't done it before, don't be scared of it. Like Austin showed there, it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to get started. And yeah, definitely give it a shot. If not for your specials, certainly on a weekly basis. Yeah, it's just another option, another way to promote your events. So I don't really have anything else to add there on the online tickets. I think you did a great job, Austin. Nice work.
Cool. So I'll kind of move forward to some website features now. You can see that we have a demo website. I'll go back to the homepage on it. And we'll just kind of go through this tab by tab, and we'll show you some features of the website. And feel free to ask questions if you've got any. First off, the home tab. There's never really anything to manage on the home tab. It's typically snapshots of other areas of the website. So again, buy tickets button, driver registration button. If you have a live registration, that will apply for you. Latest news. Well, that's obviously taken from your news articles that you attach, and we just pick the most recent ones. Latest photos, latest videos, all those types of things. Just snapshots of other areas of the website. Same with the sponsor scroll at the bottom. So a lot of those are pretty straightforward to use. The one thing that I will tell you is at the top, we have a headlines option. So if I go to the admin side, a lot of the features of websites are going to be down in this web management area on the bottom here. And headlines is no different. So when I come to more, there's going to be an option for the headlines page. And this is where you can put in photo, you can put in headline text. If it's a link, you can link it somewhere else, active or inactive, change the order, edit all of these things. Again, headline text, link, all that kind of stuff. Edit the photo over here. You can do a lot of different things with headlines. So this isn't the same as news articles. News articles exist in a different cache, but the headlines use it as what you want it to be. I mean, if you want to advertise your next race, your biggest race, and some other event, you use it to really promote the things that you want to have in front of fans when they first visit your website. Front and center, the first thing they see, you want it to be your biggest, most important news item or tickets or whatever. So I'll jump ahead to schedule results. All of this stuff should be done because of what we've done in previous nights in season management. So when I go in here to season management and I create a schedule so I can score my races, well, that automatically updates the schedule page of your website. Now, when I go into race management and I put in my entries and I put in my lineups and I put in my results and my races are done, well, that automatically updates this tab on the website, because now instead of details for future events, it turns into results. And you can click on that and you can view the classes. You can view the results class by class. You can view all of that kind of stuff. And that's automated. So the three most labor-intensive parts of a website are your schedule, your results, and your points. Well, if you have a website through My Race Pass, those three things are now automated. That includes points. I think it was last night or 2 nights ago, whichever one, we talked about calculating points at the end of a race night for your tracker series. Well, because you've used My Race Pass to calculate your points, your website is updated. This falls in line with what's in the app. This falls in line with what's in your public profile. But again, that website is so vital, so important to what we're doing in today's modern world of people don't use phone books. People don't find information the same way they used to. Everyone who's going to find information about your facility is going to look at your website first. Sure, they might look at your Facebook page, but that's such an inefficient way to find information. And if I go to somebody's Facebook page, it's usually because I didn't find their website, and I'm trying to see if they have a link to their website on the Facebook page. You want to have this information front and center. With the My Race Pass website, it makes it super easy and super efficient to have this information front and center for all your folks. So again, schedule, results, points, you'll never have to manually put into your website again. Number of other things in here. Start with fan info. In our fan info tab, it's kind of used as an example of what we call a super page. These are just custom pages. So when I go to camping for my fan info, again, I'll go to web management, and under more are all of our custom pages. So when I go to fan info and I go to camping, you can see that I just manually put a bunch of information in here. That's what I want it to be. And it translates to the website with better formatting in this view. So these are all custom pages, and we can build custom pages for you. Ticket information, same thing, custom page. Now this one's blank, so when I go to, where was I at? Fan info and ticket information, there you can see what a blank page looks like. It's telling you, here are all these elements that we can add. We can add a bulleted list. We can add a paragraph with an image. We can add a section heading. We can add a file download. We can add media items or an image gallery. If you have something that you need to be creative with on your website, be creative with it, and we can, facilitate many of those things. In driver info, I've got a rules option where you can start to see what the file download looks like. So I can click the PDF for rules, and there we go, perfect. There's my rules page, so folks can export that. So again, whatever need you have of information on the website, schedule results and points are automated. We can start to create some of these other things as well. There is an option under About that I've got here for sponsors. Many folks, which I clicked the parallel by incident, many folks will have this sponsors page, or they'll call it partners, or they'll call it a number of different things. Just be a tab on the website instead of stuck in a drop-down. But we can hook Google Analytics to this. We can tell people, here's how many times this page has been visited. So here's how many times that logo's been seen. And we can include a link behind the logo as well. So we can tell you, here's how many times that logo has been clicked on. So you can start to bring that to your marketing partners, and you can start to say, hey, billboards on the front stretch are nice, and they have their place, and they're valuable. But we're starting to get impressions in a different way that most racetracks can't offer, because we have this website through My Race Pass that allows us to track this information. We can give you those specific numbers. And so that's a valuable tool as well for many people. A couple of other things I have stuck up here in this About page. We have a contact page, and I'll spend a little bit of time here. I like to consider the contact page in two different sections, a general contact area and a form. So when I come to the admin side, there's a contact tab, general contact and form subject. So above the fold, top of the screen, general contact information. If you want that stuff to show, you don't have to, but if you want it to, put a name, phone number, email address, physical address, mailing address, those types of things, and that will start to show on the front end of the website. I've heard back from a few clients lately that they don't like to have an email address listed here because, one, the form sends an email to them anyway, and two, if a web crawler finds that email address just hanging out on the front of the website, you might start to get spam mail because of it. So, that's something to consider. Now, I got a lot of other clients that do have the email address hanging out there, and it's valuable for them. It elicits more emails to them from the folks that visit their website. Now there's below the fold information, which is just the form. So I'll go down to form subjects. There are a couple of different things that we can look at here. First off, email addresses. We've got a number of email addresses over on the left that can be folks who receive emails. So you type in an email address, and I will add an email address here, save, and now I can take that email address and I can add a subject line to it. So I will add, I don't know, sponsorship as my subject line, and add, and now whatever you've got here is a subject line. When somebody sends an email to that subject, that's the email address that receives it. So as I come back here into the form, somebody will fill in their name, their email address, their phone number, select the subject line that applies to them, and send you an email. And it'll come to the email address that you've specified here. A lot of these are pretty outdated. I'm going to start to remove some of them, but there we go. From there, there is a window here that will allow you to view all of those messages that were sent. They will still send an email to whatever email address you have specified, but in this view messages field, you can still come back and you can view all the messages or delete or whatever you want to do. So that is a thing that's available to you as well. There's also one other page in here in the contact area we don't have on our demo website, but I do have an example that I can show you. It's staff members. You can start adding staff members, first name, last name, whatever, image, all that kind of stuff. You can add those staff members. And I've got Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series website pulled up here. They added images to all of their staff members also, but you can add staff members on that screen and have, all of those things show there if you'd like. Not often used, but available if you'd like to use it. I think our history stuff is another super page. Yeah, all that stuff's on the super pages. Perfect. So now I'll jump ahead to media. In media, we've got three things: news, photos, and videos. I'll tell you, most people, and I would consider it best practice, to take news and not hide it in a drop down, but actually have that be its own tab, its own news tab on the website. But as I go to news, just news articles. Click in and read a news article. From here, your people who visit your website can share however they want to share the news article to a number of different places, all that kind of stuff. So news on the admin side is really pretty simple. There's a news management tab. If you're in web management, there's a news option at the top of the screen. So two different ways to get to the same place. Creating a news article is very straightforward. Let me delete an old one and I'll start a new. So I'll add a news article here. Basically, you add heading, you add article credit if you want to have an article credit. You type in the body. And I'll tell you, full disclosure, I worked in a world of education before this. So I can't tell you how many times I've had students call me and say, hey, I typed my whole essay in and then I lost internet and now it's gone. Don't be that person. Please don't be that person. Type your news article into Word, into some other word processor, and then copy and paste it here. So if you do need to stop halfway, you don't lose access, or you don't lose what you've already worked on. You don't want to lose your essay like those high school kids, let me tell you. So yeah, heading, body, all that kind of stuff. There is an article media option. You can click to add media, where you can either utilize photos from a gallery that exists, utilize your miscellaneous bucket of photos, or upload a new photo, whatever you'd like to do that way. So a couple of different options there. And we'll get to those galleries here in just a second, what they mean. But let me add media here quick. Miscellaneous. Who doesn't love Ric Flair? Perfect. So I've got media, I've got heading, I've got body. Here's where the tags come into play. Tags, we call this section article networking because this is where the power of the My Race Pass network, the tagline that we have, really comes into play as far as websites go. I can tag my article with a type of racing, with a driver, with a series, with an event, with a number of different things. So if I tag an event, I come to my track schedule, and if I've tagged, I don't know, February 8th in my news article, now the news article for that event shows in this screen above all the other information. So that can be valuable for folks going to your website to either get a race recap or get a race preview for the next race. If I tag a series or a driver, now when I log into my profile as a series or as a driver and I go to add news, when I come to the news management screen, I'll actually get a pop-up window and it'll say, hey, so-and-so wrote an article and tagged you in it. You have the option to add that to your website if you'd like to. Can be valuable. Now the news article that you wrote might show up at a series website, might show up at a couple of driver websites, might start to get pushed around the app, pushed around our public profiles, and appear in more places than you envisioned it appearing. Same works in reverse as well. Driver comes to your racetrack, has a website through us. They write a news article. When you log in, you'll get that same pop-up window that says, hey, somebody wrote a news article about you. You have the option to add it to your website. So that can be valuable in terms of just having more content on your site to drive traffic to your website. Once you get that all done, you can go ahead and publish it. I'm not going to publish this one, but I will show you one that had been published previously. A couple of things you can do here. Obviously, you can edit. You can make it active or inactive. You can share to social media. And then you can also see where it's been viewed. So mine, obviously it's your favorite track, My Race Pass, whatever. But you start to share this to different places, right? Driver picks it up, series picks it up. You start to get a lot of views from, a lot of places that maybe you didn't envision. The find news option is similar to what I'm describing with the pop-up, but now you can search for news from other places. So I search for news for, I don't know, different racetrack. I can start to add news from that racetrack to my site, or search for a driver, or search for a series. You've got the Cars Tour, you've got World of Outlaws, you've got something like that coming to town. You might be able to just kind of use some of the articles that have been created for that site and, you know, put them into your website to just generate some content surrounding that big event, those types of things. Especially valuable if you don't have a press writer who can consistently create news articles all the time. If you're kind of hanging on your own with some of that stuff, you know, maybe piecemealing some stuff from other places isn't the worst strategy in those situations. So that's news. And news is the biggest tool to drive traffic to your website. If you do, I don't care if you're doing a website through us, or you're doing a website through WordPress, or you got somebody else building it for you, don't have your press releases on Facebook. Have your press releases on your website. Share them to social media, and use social media as a tool to drive that traffic back to your website. I don't care what's going on. Traffic to your website is only ever going to be a good thing. With My Race Pass, we have a digital advertising platform that a gentleman by the name of Jim Sweener runs, that actually gives you money back for driving traffic to the website. Quarterly, we'll cut you a check based on page views. So if you've got a website through My Race Pass, you're going to make money by having a website through My Race Pass. And the more traffic you drive, the more money you make. Other things in media are photos and videos. So I'll jump ahead to photos here. You can see on the front end, I've got some photo galleries. Well, in web management, up at the top of the screen, there's media and there's photos. So when I come here, I can see all my galleries. I can create a new gallery. I can make a gallery inactive or active if I need to. You can do a lot of things here. As I click into a gallery, I can view all of the images inside of it. All of those types. Actually, this is a gallery inside of a gallery. So we're really getting fancy here with this one. As an example, if I click 2019, a bunch of images inside of it, that gallery is hidden, is why it didn't show up. So if I made that public and I tried this again, now I would see within the 2019 gallery, I've got other things that I can access for different galleries. But I will click on the gallery, see all the images inside of it. Once I see all the images inside of it, I can do a few things. One, I can reorder the images, click and drag, whatever. I can select all of the images and add them to another gallery, or remove them from a gallery. Do the same thing if you select individual images. You can add or remove, whatever you want to do that way. I click in somewhere else here. I can add captions to my photos. This is something that I recommend doing. If you're going to have photos online, is adding captions to them. Again, whether that's an MRP site or a different website, it's a good habit to have, is to add captions to your photos. All of those types of things. I can add a photo to my gallery, so I can upload new. Put the file there. Use your file explorer to find the image that you want to add. Type. Again, you can tag it as different things if you'd like. Add those tags. Do all those types of things. So, valuable to add photos online to make sure they're there. What you'll find is that in videos, it's exactly the same interface. Exactly the same interface. The only difference is that when I go to add a video, instead of it being local upload, it's got to be hosted online. So YouTube link, Vimeo link, whatever, hosted online. To make sure that you've got it right there. But that's photos and videos. There is a store option as well. I really am not going to talk a lot about the store options here because a lot of this can be so customizable on a track by track or profile by profile basis. Also, we've been here a little while. So if you are interested in getting shirts made by us, get a hold of us. We can have shirts made and we can sell them on your website. If you have your own stock of apparel, whether that be shirts or hats or whatever merchandise you've got, we can talk about the process of creating the store, of getting those things added, of things like shipping options and sizing options and whatever else, and you can start to kind of track your inventory that way. So that's all going to be kind of personalized on a site by site. But that's really all I have to show you in terms of websites. Otherwise, buy tickets option up here. You've got all of your social media button options as well. Countdown ticker to your next event. All of that type of stuff. There's a lot of features. There's a lot of features. There's a lot of options. The nice thing about it is that with schedule results and points automated, you can focus on the things that are really for marketing, and we've kind of handled the rest on the website. So with that, that's really all I have to show. That's all I really wanted to talk about here tonight. Is there any questions, or is there anything that anyone else wants to bring up here before we, I guess, pull the curtain on the week of NASCAR webinars? Anything that we should add, Ross or Dakota?
Again, I don't know if there's much. You covered a lot there. It's a pretty solid hour of information, but if there are any questions or anything like that, be sure to check out our help center. I did post a link to that scanner, but there's a ton of other information there as well. mrphelp.com. There's just a variety of topics, web related, race management, season management, online tickets. That's definitely your friend for sure. Austin spends a lot of time curating all that, and it's a very powerful tool. So check that out. Support at myracepass.com if you have any other questions. And yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for hopping on here again. Thanks for sticking it out with us. And I guess I should mention the website stuff. That's something that isn't as flashy as it once was. That's actually how we started, though. 15 years ago, we started building websites. It's kind of crazy, I guess, how that all came to be. But there's, the app and things like that have only been around for 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it's been. But websites is how we started. So that's obviously something that we're very passionate about. And if there's a way that we can work with you on your website, that would be great. So thanks again, guys, for hopping on here. And unless anybody has any questions, I'll just send it back to you, Austin.